There we go. So let us jump right in. Um, yeah. So first of all, we just want to talk about like what is the purpose of this YouTube channel. Also talking about my essentially my road to building out my own IPGA. And the crazy thing is, I've been doing IPGA for quite some time now before hearing about it from Sander Stage. The only difference is I just didn't have a name for it. I touched up about it yesterday, like last night, around like 8 p.m. I made this like upload on my YouTube channel. The reason why I went ahead and like made this upload is I I genuinely didn't even want to. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a video on Saturday, but Friday night I was like looking at the content that other people have been publishing about IPGAs, and it was really subpar, um, incredibly subpar. But anywho, except for one guy doing a state, Sander. Where is he at? There we go. He's the one that definitely made me want to turn this model. Definitely recommend like watching this video. He's the one that made me want to turn this model into a actual feasible business. As the client I do currently have right now is really, I don't even consider him a client. I consider him more of a friend. We had both been working for Iman Gadzi's team, Educate, and we had transitioned out of it due to certain reasons. Uh, and he was in the process of starting a sales course, and I was like, "Hey, dude." Actually, he even came up to me. I didn't even I didn't even reach out to him. He reached out to me on Instagram, and he was like, "Yo, can you essentially like help me with setting up this course, and I'll just pay you like commission." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Hopped on a call, and essentially, right now we're in the process of setting up a sales team for him. So setting up the appointment setters and the sales rep. Most likely it's gonna be like one sales rep, or I'm not even going to put a sales rep at least for the next month. And all I'm gonna do is probably like bring on like five appointment setters and just have them fully book out his calendar. But before doing that, most likely it's going to be me wanting to personally go out of my way and test it out, as how I've been doing outreach was Instagram DM and WhatsApp outreach, just because he had a plethora of people he could actually go ahead and contact. So went ahead and did that. Both methods worked. So I've already like built out a structure for the appointment setters to actually go ahead and have a proven method to book appointments. Because here's the key thing, and this will touch on right right here. We'll touch on it a whole lot more, which is a lot of people bring on appointment setters and they don't even have a proven appointment setting method, right? So a proven client acquisition method, right? So it's like, how do you expect to bring on someone else and then say, hey, you will figure this out? I'm not gonna figure this out, and you're gonna get paid commission only. Very unlikely event of you being able to pull off something like that, especially if you're bringing on the appointment setter from like Facebook or something. So, anyway, I'm ranting. So, essentially, setting up the sales process for him and everything else. The only thing I didn't help him set up was the website, as he just got a website developer to like build the whole thing from scratch using Webflow. And we're looking at the comms is 20% on pretty much all sales that are generated through the acquisitions that I went ahead and built out. So that is That is the difference between. You can tell that it was structured in a way where I hadn't even watched Sander Stage's videos because with him what we're doing is just like a 20% on everything I generate, which means, for example, what we're going to be mainly focusing on with him is appointment setters, SDRs, just because those have been incredibly good. I mean, I'm already used to building I'm already used to building appointment setting teams and closing teams from a previous sales company I was in. Uh, and so that's what I'm going to be focusing on with him, which means that if he decides to do referrals, get referrals, or run paid ads, I wouldn't be getting paid from those type of clients or students that he gets. It's just going to be through the appointment setters and the closers that are put inside of his company, essentially. Anywho, let's talk about IPGA. What is it? There's a ton of videos that will teach you what it is. I'm not going to. This channel is really here. It's in the word. Road to Adonis. Uh, really, the goal is to get at least 5 clients, uh, up to, I'd say, 10, 10 to 25 thousand. 10 is a pretty low number. 10 to 25,000 uh, by, I'd say, June, July 2024. And that's the okay, if we go all in on this and that happens, then you know it's a proven concept. Whereas like the actual goal is for every client that I bring on, helping them get up to $100,000. As the more money they make, the more money we make. So let me explain what that process looks like to you. In terms of like the client acquisition and stuff, I'll most likely make another video on it. This is just going to be a horrible raw video. Um, it's just the guy who opened up OBS and decided to record a video. I do plan on making the videos better. I mean, I literally purchased a um, what is it, like S7 FE? It's basically like a tablet. Comes with a pen and everything, so that literally just for this purpose right here. So I can write on top of my videos using an iPad, which makes it more nice for you guys and more simple for me. Uh, I really believe in simplicity. So yeah. Anyway, let's jump into it. What does the process look like that I'm going to be going through? I do recommend also watching Sander Stage's video, as he goes pretty in depth about it. Once again, I do want to state, I've been seeing a lot of channels that have like Telegram groups and stuff. So I'm assuming it's probably something that Sander is teaching in his like current cohort on, like, hey, when you're setting this up, create a Telegram group. I'm not a part of any of Sander's courses, so I wouldn't know. But it appears that way, as he's commented on a couple of their YouTube channels, and all of them have Telegram groups. I don't know what's up with that trend, but okay. Anyway, I have no intention of selling you guys at all. I already have my niche. So I am going to be really sharing everything. The only thing I right now, and it's a limiting belief, but the only thing right now I'm hesitant on sharing is my niche, because I've been with my niche for a very long time. I think nearly under half, just under half a decade, I've been with that one specific niche. So let's jump in, right? Which is what I'm looking to actually go ahead and do. Like the process would look like the foundations, right? And that's essentially where we're actually going ahead and building the automations of the course, the curriculum, everything, the consulting calls, the in-person meetings, etc. And what that looks like is really sitting down, having a conversation with the client. This is once like probably in the onboarding stage, and really walking through what the course will entail. Most likely, since I already like have a niche entail, I already have been building out a structure of what the curriculum would look like using Notion. What I definitely recommend you do when you ask, not Notion, ChatGPT. What I'd recommend you do when you are making a prompt for them to like, for ChatGPT to build the structure of the curriculum, right? Because that's what ChatGPT is going to do: build the structure, and then once the structure has been built, right, you're just building a basic structure. Is showing it, having a consulting call with your client, and then talking about it, like, hey, what do you think about this structure? I built a structure, and he'll say whether, or she say, whether it's good or bad, or I change this or I change this. And once it's been done, you're like, okay, cool. Now that you have the structure, here you go make some videos. Then probably have them record some looms and stuff. As you can see, it's all over the place. Probably have them record some looms, right? Just going over everything, talking about it. And then most likely going to be taking it myself and getting some guy from Fiverr to turn it into a what am I looking for? Turn it into a spreadsheet. Not a spreadsheet. Oh my gosh. Turn it into a presentation, right? A PowerPoint, a slideshow, Google Slides. And that way it'll be like a whole lot more cleaner, right? Because I can have like the slideshow, the video be like 4K or 2K or whatever, instead of like really bad quality, like a really bad quality video. Because I don't want my clients, students, to get bad quality, and they only find out after paying that, oh my gosh, it's bad quality. Yeah. So the foundations, building out the foundations, right? Creating the course, producing it, production, recording. There we go, launching. Now, when it comes to launching, what is very important, at least what I'm going to be doing, and that's I think for this whole YouTube channel's concept is not how you can do XYZ, or how you can get to 100K a month or 10K a month. This YouTube channel is just how I'm planning on getting there, or like the things I'm currently doing to reach my goal. And if you learn something from it that you're able to like take and put into your business, then cool. I'm glad I could help you do that. So the launching phase. One thing I do want to iterate, and I'll talk about it more in depth in the client acquisition, in the client acquisition video, is for the prospects I'll be reaching out to. It is vitally important that they have some form of an audience. It doesn't have to be huge, but it has to be decent, like 20 to 50,000 followers would be like the sweet spot. And anything more than that, add on top of that, if someone has less than 100,000, like between less than 100,000 followers, but more than 20, and has a course, and that course is horrible, creme de la creme. That's our dream client. Our dream client avatar is a person in X industry. And one day I'll probably work on that belief and actually end up sharing my niche with you guys. But a person in X industry who has about 20 to 100,000 followers on Instagram, or even on LinkedIn or YouTube. Except if it's like LinkedIn or YouTube, I'd probably, for LinkedIn, I might, yeah, I'd say for both of them, I'd decrease it. I haven't really thought about it for like if they have a LinkedIn or YouTube profile. All I honestly care about is their Instagram account has 20 to 100,000 followers. They have a course, but it's it's not performing as well as they wanted to. And there's a lot of changes that can be made. That is the dream client. Then we come in, help them build it. Bada bing, bada boom. Bob is your uncle, right? So another thing in the launch, which also is involved in like the creation stage and etc., would be the pricing structure of the course. Not of what I charge my clients, but of like what they will be charging their students. Uh, I'd say would be a structure. There's a couple ways you can do it, and then I'll tell you about like how I plan on doing it for my company. Is you can either do, I'd say, about $497 up until $1,000. That's if you don't want to have you don't want to build a sales process, right? You don't want to sales process, and like you don't want to build a sales team. That's the sort of pricing structure you'd want to have it at, or have it be like, and that's like once off. But then you could like say we split it into three payments, or like we split it into six payments to make it more easier for someone to actually go ahead and pay online. Uh, on top of that, another method would be just having them pay a small fee one time, and then a slightly smaller fee every single month. That that's the method that I'm thinking about going for. And the reason, if you do want to go for the initial one where it's like 497 up to like $1,000, you can. I wouldn't recommend going higher than $1,000 for your client's course unless you want to go through the burden of building a sales team. And trust me, that is easier said than done. I mean, for me, it is nothing but child's play, but that's just because I have the experience, and I I literally had to take hundreds of interview calls, interviewing appointment setters and closers. And on top of that, I had to be the one going out of my way to upload the job posts and contact the people and talk to them and then book them into the calendar. And then after interviewing them and bringing them onto the team, also handling the daily training for them and making sure that they're meeting KPIs. Trust me. And on top of that, the mindset. You can't have a sales team and not expect to have them working on mindset at least twice to three times a week, literally having a mini team mastermind, just talking about mindset and having them push, and then having to also show them that, yo, dude, this product works, because if your sales team doesn't believe that your product is going to change people's lives, you are, yeah, that sales team is gonna go. But it's not to say you can't. Like, please understand, you can have your clients charge $5,000 for their course. Just don't expect anybody to pay online. Like, you might have one or two people out of 100,000, or like out of however many, but it's not enough. It's not sustainable. You need to literally build a sales team for that. Even if you like run ads, okay, you run ads, so now you don't need appointments. Actually, you still need appointment setters even if you run ads, because they need to call up the prospects who don't book an appointment. Because when you're running ads and charging $5,000 for a course, trust me, you need to make sure that you squeeze that ad spend for everything it's got, which means calling every single lead that came in through the ad and didn't book an appointment, and even calling the ones that did to make sure they show up to the call. It's an interesting thing. But anyway, right. So finding someone who has about 20 to 50,000 followers on Instagram as the reason why is for the first few clients, I'd say, for until we get them to da 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 let's say we're going to use we won't use the initial. Actually, hell, let's use the initial. So let's say they have about 30,000. Um, Let me open the calculator. There we go. So let's say that they have like 30,000 followers, and assuming that based on of like actual metrics, about like 0.5% up to like 2%, but we'll keep it average. We'll just say like 1% of them actually convert, right? You're looking at about 300 people becoming clients, becoming students for your client. And if you're charging like the initial fee being $97, I mean, what's that? Like a Go High Level subscription? It's basically nothing. Uh, they're literally making 29,000. And what's crazy is you can be this is low numbers, but what's crazy is you can even be like lower than this. You could be performing lower than this, three times lower than this, and your client would still hit the $10,000 mark, which is why I said $10,000 is the like 10 to 25,000 would be like the acceptable. Like, okay, we have a proven system in place. Uh, but it wouldn't be a, oh my gosh, we finally did it. And how I most likely want to have it structured is probably we can literally use the same case with worse numbers. So, like, let's say our client's audience really loads him, and they do only like 0.3% of people actually go ahead and convert into a client, right? And that's okay because I most likely want. And you know what? I'm gonna be charging like 250 for the initial, not for like myself, but like for my client students, 250. But I'm gonna use the 97 example here. Oh, we have 90 already. It's 97. Wait, what just happened? Um, time. Whoa, no, don't times it by zero. 30,000 times that by that's 3%, 0.3% times that by $97 for the course is still $8,000. And if you're taking like 15%, don't worry, we're gonna work on pricing. If you're taking about 15%, that's the cut. But I'm a I don't just take 15%. I know that I'm gonna be working super hard for my clients and giving 200%. So make sure that I get paid the value that I put out for them. And the more I help them make money, the more we make money. It's literally a win-win situation for everybody, and even for the students as well, right? Because the more students are happy, the more referrals they'll give, and the more referrals they give, the more money the client makes. The more money the client makes, the more money I make. But yeah, so I'd say once we do get it to at least 5,000 to $10,000 coming in. That was just the initial setup, by the way, guys. So the that was just the initial setup, but for the actual like the actual processing is going to be the initial setup, boom, plus a monthly fee. So the monthly fee, I'd say anywhere from like $25 up to $50 is comfortable. It's like not an issue, right? But like once we have like I'd say at least $5,000 coming in a month from the monthly revenue, is when we bring on, and I might even have it be lower than that. I mean, these aren't definitive numbers. I'm not going to be like, oh no, it has to be 5,000 before we run ads. It could even be like 3,000, and I might just say, hey, let's start putting $100 into IG ads, and boom, they're making a shitload of money from it. So scaling it would be through, at least for my niche, just Instagram ads, potentially moving it to YouTube ads. But I do not have any experience in YouTube ads at all. The only things I have experience in is Google ads, Instagram ads, Facebook ads. I've never ran TikTok ads. I've never ran YouTube ads. Uh, that's all I've done. Never even done like influencer marketing. Um, yeah. So that's the sort of scaling process I'd have. For me, it would be IG ads. Keep it super simple. Now, the pricing, this is what you guys really want to see, right? The pricing model, I have two structures for the pricing model on the call. At least for like the first five clients that I bring on, as I'm thinking that I'm only going to bring on the first five clients, and only once I get all five of them up to 10,000 a month, will I then be like, okay, now we can actually build a proper team in place, like for my company, so that we can now onboard more people, because I want to get it to at least like 100 clients in the next, say, five years or so. And I know you guys are like, 100 clients in 5 years? Oh my gosh, that's so low. But the reason why I say that is I want my company to be known as a company that helps experts within my industry get to 100,000 a month, um, with their courses, right, with their online education businesses. And I know that is easier said than done. The beautiful thing about being niched down, is it's simpler. It's simple. It's simple, right? Simple doesn't mean easy, but it's simple, because once I have essentially have a proven method for getting the five clients to 10,000 a month, I literally just look at all five of them and say, okay, what did I do to make it work? Like, okay, okay, this is what I did. Oh, I did this and this. Oh, okay, I faced these snags. Okay, cool. And now I just literally build an SOP on it, build literally structures on it, and now we can just start onboarding more people into it. And it just depends on if the profit margins are big enough for me to have a big enough team to allow me to onboard more. Because once you have a proven method in place, the only issue is um, not the client acquisition. Is, at least for me, client acquisition wouldn't never be the issue. The biggest issue for me personally, like a bottleneck, for my company, and every company has its own bottlenecks. For my company, the bottleneck is fulfillment. That would be the bottleneck, fulfillment. That's why I said it's very important for you to know if you genuinely believe that you'll do everything in your efforts to make sure that your clients get the best results. It's that simple. Maybe your expertise is in client fulfillment and you're horrible at client acquisition, then your bottleneck would be client acquisition. And um, I'd say, man, like client acquisition is super simple. I'll make a video on client acquisition as well. I mean, I made a post on it. People complicate client acquisition. I promise you, it's really not that complicated. It's literally find out who your ideal prospects are, get them to notice you, initiate a sales conversation, and find out if what you're doing is actually valuable to them and would help them. And if you're like, okay, this won't actually help this person, then end the call. You know that it's like if you sell a crutch, like let's say your product is a crutch and I sell crutches. And you get on a conversation, you get on a sales call with someone that has two legs who can walk and run, and you try to sell them a crutch. I'm not saying you can't. You can probably sell them. You can probably hard sell them into buying a crutch or something, or like manipulate them into like wanting to buy a crutch. But that's not a fun thing, man, because it's like that is where then people get limiting beliefs and fears around like client acquisition, because you're trying to sell to everybody under the sun. As long as someone books an appointment with you, you're like, oh man, oh, it's about to be fun. Like if you're selling a crutch, and you get on a call with someone who has two legs, end the call. Literally tell them that, hey, uh, based on everything we talked about, it seems like what we have might not be actually beneficial for you, and I don't want to really like have your time getting wasted or my time getting wasted on this call. I just want you to know that I don't think what we have would offer you, and that's because X Y Z. We usually just help people that have like one leg, not people with two legs. But then if you do want help in regards to the problem you were telling me about earlier on the call, I don't mind sending you over some information in regards to like what you can do, who you can contact to like actually solve that problem. But as for my company, nah, that's not what my company does. Boom. That's simple. And then if you get on a call with someone that has one leg, you're it's like, dude, I sell a crutch. You need a crutch to walk. Here you go. Boom. Super simple. And then this is another. This is so you have the initial one was like the hard closer, but this is also another form of hard closing, uh, which is and I say hard closing in terms of like you're selling to someone that your product isn't a fit for. I'm sure there's other definitions of hard closing, but for me, that is what I consider hard closing. Selling you, trying to sell your product, your offer to someone that isn't a fit for your company, which is you can sell a crutch to a man with one leg. Hell, you can sell two to a man with one leg. Uh, you can't sell a crutch to a man that has no legs, no legs working. Even if you sold him two at a discount, like your best bet would be telling him where to go to find a wheelchair. And when you're doing that, it's right here. You're just super authentic. And being authentic is so easy. It's fun. You actually enjoy hopping on calls because you know that, yo, I understand I might not close this person, but what I do know is they're going to leave this call with value. Whether they like it or not, they're going to leave the call with value. And you know what? If I don't know where wheelchairs are being sold, or I don't know anyone selling a wheelchair, or I don't even know how to build a wheelchair, or even want to attempt to build one, then I just tell them that, hey, my offer won't help you. And honestly, I don't know how we could solve your problem. Your best bet is going out there and trying to contact someone who would be able to help you. And knowing myself, I'd in fact even say, I don't know who is selling, like in context, guys. I don't know who sells wheelchairs. So I don't even know if I can help you. But what I do know is after this call, I'll just do some research for you later today. See who's selling wheelchairs, and if I do find anybody, I'll just like send you an email of them. Would you find that valuable? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Till then, I hope you have a great day. Boom. End the call. There is no sales fear or limiting beliefs once you keep it that simple. So these are the two pricing structures I'm planning on having, which is $1,000 a month retainer plus a 30% on revenue, or five, basically $6,000 that they have to pay on pre-launch, and I just take a 15% cut on revenue. Now, this is going to be an upfront payment, or it could even be split into three, though I'll be attempting to sell it upfront. And the beautiful thing about both of these models is this right here. Oof, this is so beautiful, guys. And do this at your own discretion. So here's the sales call and stuff. And as you can see, this is where the paying of the invoice happens. And this is why I love this. This is why it's so beautiful. Because, at least for me personally, uh, this is how I plan on bringing in those first five clients. Now, after those first five clients, when I have like a team in place, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's scale this. Let's bring on more people. Like, let's bring another five or like another 10. Is this the paying of the invoice will be on the sales call, and then the process. But for now, this is what it looks like, right? Which is we have the sales call. They're like, okay, sounds good, man. Let's move forward. And I'm like, okay, cool, great, man. And then let me just close that. And then we go ahead, have them fill out the onboarding call. They receive and authorize the agreement. We end the call. We set a time for the onboarding call, and then we just have daily calls until the launch. Although daily calls is a bit of a stretch. I'm thinking about having it be like every other day calls, and the reason why is because I want to stay top. I want to keep top of mind with my client. And I could even substitute daily calls with that. I still plan on having at least the weekly call. That is a requirement. That is a requirement. Uh, but the daily calls, I'm thinking about even having it be like maybe having like just talking, like having a WhatsApp group with the clients, like me and the client, or like a Slack or a Discord with like me and the client. But I'm thinking about like at least for the first 5 clients, having it just be like WhatsApp, making it like more personalized for them. Me sitting like actually trying to figure it out, make it super easy for them, because people are lazy, guys. People are incredibly lazy, and I just want to make sure that I keep pestering my clients to do what is required for them to do on their side, making sure I'm updating them about like what I'm doing until the launch phase. The launch phase is like where we get the software and we run the we like we get the software that will be hosting the hosting platform. We upload all the course videos once they've been edited, once they've been recorded by the client and then edited by some guy. I'm gonna probably get a guy on Fiverr to build it out. And you know what? I'm not a picky dude. If the guy on Fiverr is horrible and he does make the client videos and they are horrible, I'm literally just gonna do it myself. It's really that simple, guys. Don't try to overcomplicate things, and then just have the client pay their invoice before the launch. And the reason why I do it like this before the launch, and not here, is I want them to actually go through the dude. They're not gonna go through all of this, go through daily calls, communication, recording of the videos, knowing full well that they already know what they have to pay, right? And not want to pay. It is now. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm sure it might. One of the 5 clients, or even like 3 of them, you might even get here, and then they're like, "Oh, I forgot about that. I can't pay. I don't have the money." Uh, then one of two things will happen. A, I'm either gonna then say, "Okay, that's okay. The only thing I want you to do is pay for the software, and then I'm gonna take a 50% on revenue," or B, um, just accept the fact that they wasted both of our times and, you know, let them be, continue. And the scaling process this involves, as I said, the IG ads, right? So the goal is to get, here the goal says is to get 7 to 13. That is true. And then the scaling, you guys, scaling can be as simple as running $50, like 20 to $50 a day Instagram ads. It could even be slightly less. But I would say your client has to have at least a budget of like minimum $100 a week, minimum. And that is, you wouldn't get that many clients, you wouldn't get that many students for them. But what you would do is they'd also see that damn people are actually coming in. So if I pour more money into the ads, I'm gonna get more clients. And if he gets more clients or she gets more clients, then you get more bread. So that's the entire process. I'm also going to be walking you guys through client acquisition, client fulfillment, team structure as well. I'll make videos on those, and also videos on anything else you guys might have questions on in the comment section. Till then, I look forward to hearing from you guys. I know this was a very unstructured video. Forgive me. Though I just wanted to document what I'm doing. And hey, you can tag along for the journey in terms of like what I'm doing. Now, there's other things I'm going to be doing as well, as I'm also having to manage running this IPGA company, and also managing my clients for my agency. And on top of that, managing university. But luckily for me, university only opens up again on February. So December and January, the all I'm going to be focusing on is my current marketing agency. Right now, I'm not bringing on any new clients for it. I've actually stopped client acquisition, it's even shocking for me. And it might transition away from, I might actually end up not stopping. I might end up like turning it back on, and finding someone else to like a an executive, essentially like a CEO or a manager, to like manage my entire team for me, as my team isn't that big. I only got like 5 employees for like my marketing agency, and they're all like commission or like performance based. So that's why I understand that even if I were to like lose all my clients, it wouldn't be like a cost for me. Now, I don't plan on losing all my clients. In fact, I don't even know if I plan on ending the company. I might just consider still also growing it and scaling it, and then just having, since it's all in one niche. This is the beautiful thing about having one niche. Since it's all in one niche, I can run their marketing and then upsell them on this. Boom. In fact, now that I think about it, no. I was saying that now that I think about it, I think I might just offer this to like my clients, and then have them come on board. Though I do want to have the client acquisition for this worked out. I don't want my marketing agency to be the client acquisition for this, because then it's relying too much on something I am not certain. I want it to be a like it's going to be around for another like 2, 3, 4, 5 years. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. If you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and put them down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you want me to make videos on, and I'll go ahead and do that. Till then, I will talk to you, gentlemen and ladies, in the next video. Cheers.